Yeah, check that out. So, got new seats, got 5-speed in it. None of that was on film because we had to haul ass to get this done to make room for that, which is neither mine nor my dad's car, but anyhow, that's his project he's working on, and I had to get this one off the lift, and just time was not permitting. Anyhow, it's together. I've been driving it for a week. The entire time I've had it together, I've had cooling system issues, which is leading me to believe something is not well with the heads or head gasket, something to that effect. So, in true traditional fashion here, or whatever, yeah, I'm gonna try to fix this damn thing tonight. It's currently 11 o'clock at night. I just made a roughly hour and a half, hour and 40-minute drive to work and back to get a gasket set. So, we got the fuel for the evening. With enough of that shit right there, anything can get done. I'm sure Rome would have gotten built faster if they had Doritos and Monster. Anyhow, yeah, so, damn, I am gonna have to take that alternator bracket off. That sucks. Yeah, so, drain the coolant. Headers have got to come off. Distributors got to come out. Alternators got to come off. Upper hoses, valve covers, the intake manifold bolts. If I can get to them all with the carburetor on there, bet your ass I'm leaving that carburetor on there. I'm just going to disconnect the throttle linkage. And yeah, we're just going to try to pull this whole thing apart, figure out what happened, and if everything's good, slam it all back together tonight. Realistically, I'm probably just going to get it all apart and start cleaning up the cylinder heads, and then my OCD is going to kick in. I'm going to want to port and polish the cylinder heads. I'm going to start working on the cylinder heads, and then it's going to be like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be dead tired. I'm going to sleep half the day tomorrow, and then I'm going to pick the camera back up around 2, 3 o'clock tomorrow and start filming again and put this all back together, and then maybe Sunday I'll still be alive and can edit all this stuff and put it all together into something worth watching. Sound good? Okay, let's go with it. Alright, so first things first, I want to go through and number all of my plug wires, which on the Fords it's convenient. 1 through 4, 5 through 8. Anyhow, I'm going to number all these guys because I'm not going to take them off the distributor. I don't want to mix them up. I don't want to fuck with them. I'm just going to leave the cap alone. So once I get all those off, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little line on the block and a line on my distributor shaft over here, the housing, and then I'm going to take the cap off, and then I'm going to make a mark on the cap, or excuse me, on the body of it that lines up with the rotor inside, so that in theory, as long as the motor doesn't get rolled over or nothing, I can set everything right back where it was and just stick it back in here without having to bust out the timing light and all that shit and retime the engine. So I just want to put it back where it is right now. And yeah, I'm sure you don't want to watch me write numbers on pieces of tape and stick it to shit, so I'm going to do that off camera. Be right back. No, I'm not sponsored. I sure wish I was. Anyhow. Oh yeah, that's some tasty cold rocket fuel. Alright, so game plan. Plug wires are all numbered. I just got a little piece of tape on each boot all the way down. 1 through 8. Fantastic. Easy, right? Now, we get over here. And see the little mark going right there? Fantastic. That's going to line up. I got another one over here. It's a little bolt. Awesome. So now I can go through and lift my plug wire assembly out of there, set that aside, and then I can start going after actual hard parts. I can get my McPlug wires off of here that I so dearly fucking hate. But the Ronald McIgnition came with the fucking distributor, and I didn't want to buy a set of plug wires just yet because, you know, hey, this stuff's expensive. It costs thousands of dollars, and I don't have thousands of dollars to spend. I have hundreds of dollars. So, later on down the road we will get some like blue Taylor plug wires for it, because those look so much cooler on this blue engine. Ah crap, I got stuff zip tied together. Alright, Blair Witch Project shit. Shit camera around. I promise I won't blow any snot bubbles in front of the camera. Good enough. Alright, cool. Dikes. I made a little cable tie here holding my vacuum line. There you go. That everybody? Alright, then that's everybody. Get you out of the way. That's all off. Fantastic. And we'll set that aside. Got that out of the way. That's off. That's the greatest thing about these frickin' HEI distributors. Frickin' one wire. That's it. That's all you need to run the damn car. Fuel line. Oh, that sucker's on there good. It got hot. And now let that piss fuel everywhere. That's just dandy. I'll set this over here somewhere so it can like leak fuel where I'm not working. That'll do. Throttle linkage has got to go. As soon as I find those over there. Pull that clip off. Ooh, that's sketchy. Surprised that didn't fall out while I was just driving it. Alright, that's out of the way. Fantastic. Get a bolt or half inch, take that guy off. Then I can lift the distributor out. And then I'll probably take the valve covers off. I gotta drain the coolant too. Yeah, I was still gonna pull the distributor first. I mean, the adage does hold true of the whole built Ford tough with Chevy stuff, because I have a GM one-wire alternator on this thing, and this is an adapter distributor to run a, it's an HEI distributor, you know, Chevy one, but the bottom half is different, so it actually fits the Ford, and it works fucking great, and that's why I'm running it. It's a damn good setup. Just like that single wire alternator. I don't have to deal with the stupid external voltage regulator that Ford put on this thing back in the 60s. Parts are readily available because GM used that frickin' alternator setup on everything for fucking ever, all the way up into like the 70s. So it just does great. It's good stuff. I like stuff that doesn't, it just works. Right there. Valve covers. You know, I think I'm going to drain the coolant next to get that out of the way, because then once I pull the valve covers, I can unbolt and lift the intake manifold, take the carburetor and everything all with it. So yeah, let's relocate under the car and do that next. Does this have a drain? It sure does. Nice. So, true to fashion, I am woefully unprepared to fix this today, and I don't have any extra coolant. So I did the right thing and blasted the hell out of my drain pan with some brake clean, and I'm going to try to reuse all this coolant. It's probably not going to work, but, you know, we'll try. Because I'm sure about 90% of this, oh, would you look at that? That's going to take forever, but you know what? If I do it that way, I'll actually catch all of it. Oh god, it's going to take forever. Can you see that? Look at that. I can piss faster than that. Well, we'll bring you all back in like, I don't know how, you know what? We're going to let that do that, and we're just going to start taking other stuff apart on the engine while that does its thing. Yeah, because that's working perfectly, but it's going to take a while. Okay, so let's get these valve covers off. And once we get these guys off, because I'm kind of curious to see what's under here anyhow. Oh, I grabbed the wrong damn socket. Anyway, so I'm going to get the valve covers off, and then pull the header bolts and stuff so we can kind of lay the headers out away from the heads while that's draining. And then I can go after the alternator, because that's going to have to come off. And yeah, then I'm kind of stuck until the coolant's drained. So maybe then I'll stop and eat some Doritos. Because, yeah, there's like 3 gallons, and again, that's at like half pissing strength that's coming out. I'm gonna go grab the right socket. Be right back. Dude, I don't even think I need a ratchet to break these loose. Oh god. Never mind, we don't need a ratchet for those. Again, I did not build this motor. It was in the car when I got it. I was told it was rebuilt. I'm sure it was Craigslist rebuilt, but you get the idea. It's a mystery. But this mystery motor does go like hell. It runs fucking great other than the overheating issues. That's the only downside to it. Other than that, this thing revs up like a frickin' 2-stroke. I don't have a tachometer, so I don't know how high I'm twisting it up, but I know I'm over revving the piss out of it. And it runs great. Yeah, no weird noises until it gets hot. Once it gets hot, then it makes all kinds of scary noises. But hopefully we can fix that this morning, tonight, whenever it is. I haven't looked at the clock since I started this, but I started this around like 11-ish, because at like 9:30 I left to go to my work to go steal some gaskets from my boss so I can do this tonight. Which, thankfully, he's a cool dude. Fellow Mustang guy. Okay. Bolts. Valve cover. Will it have anything cool in there? I highly doubt it. I mean, it'd be awesome if it had some like roller rockers in there, but I know it doesn't. There's no way. I mean, it'd be cool if it did, but I know it doesn't. I hope there is. Yeah. I'm gonna tear that gasket. And normal rockers. Ah, I ripped the gasket. Oh well, I've got another one. It's not terrible. It's no sludge. So, I mean, it's definitely tells me it's been apart. Oil is not milky either, so that's a good sign. I'm thinking what's going on is there's something happened, like the head gasket must have gotten damaged putting this thing together in an odd way that, like, at higher RPMs, cylinder, like actual combustion chamber pressure is pushing into the water jackets and pressurizing the hell out of the cooling system, but it's not quite enough to where the coolant pressure after you shut the car off is pushing back into the engine to where it can then leak past the rings and get down into the oil pan and stuff, because I don't have milky oil. But you start this thing up and within 30 seconds these coolant hoses are rock hard, like it's building pressure, but the engine's still cold. So it's an odd scenario, but something to that effect is going on. And of course, these bolts are finger tight too. I'm surprised these valve covers weren't leaking. Oh, that one's tight. But only like screwdriver tight. this one off. We'll leave those right there. Well, still relatively clean inside of everything, so that's a good sign. Yeah. That's still draining. Right then. More tools. I'm going ahead and pull the alternator off. Okay, now we're on this side of the engine. It's drained down enough to where I could take my top hoses off of there. I got my front two bolts loose on the alternator bracket. I'm going to pull this one out completely, and hopefully I can just kind of swing it forward a little bit to get the head to come off without taking all this completely apart. Oh, I got to take the dipstick bolt out of there too. Just noticed that painted over. But anyhow, hopefully, shouldn't have to take a whole lot apart to do this. Yeah, see right there, now I got enough slack where I can take that off without completely pulling the alternator and everything. What is this? I need a 9/16 for that guy. And yeah, so I'll take that guy off. That's loose. And then I will take the headers. Hopefully by then this should be drained down below like the deck height of the heads, or at least, and I know it's past the manifold, so I can at least take the intake manifold off. So yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so update. We got valve covers off, hoses are off, alternator bracket bolts are pulled, I pulled the spark plugs out. I'm working on getting the last of the header bolts out on the driver's side bank, and before I continue, I've got to show you guys this. These are the plugs out of it. Come on, focus, you bastard. There we go. Look at that. They are burning as clean as liquid frickin' propane. I had that carburetor frickin' dialed. Anyways, back to it. So, now I'm over here just digging around trying to get these damn bolts out. Don't have a whole lot of space because I got headers, and I believe I actually have one oddball bolt that is not the same size as the others. Several. What in the hell? Alright, we'll get that one out. But anyhow, how's everybody been? I feel like I haven't seen any of you in forever. It's been like 2, almost 3 weeks, I think. Yeah. With keeping up with current events and whatnot. You know, I thought that was quite hysterical that there is a CEO out there with the exact same luck that I have. That, like, I've never had it in me to cheat. It's just not my cup of tea. But anyhow, Lord willing, if I were to cheat on someone, I would get caught cheating with them on a fucking Jumbotron at a concert. Like, that would be my luck. Like, I would be like, I would never fucking do this, but alright, my dumb ass is gonna give it a go. And that's what would happen. Like, that's just how my luck works. I would be that guy. The one time, like, I would get caught in the most spectacular manner, and there would be no one to blame but myself. But, it is really fucking funny, though. Like, it sucks, you know, and you're not supposed to do that shit, but it was still really fucking funny. There's no denying that one. That was absolutely hysterical. Yeah. But anyhow, you know, there's that. And, you know, The Last of Us freaking flopped. Ruined that TV series. Looking forward to seeing the last season of Stranger Things, though. That's a good series. I like how that's going. Little Miss Millie Bobby Brown, I think is how her name's all pronounced there. cute kid, good actress. I really hope she doesn't go the path of most other child actresses like Lindsay Lohan and Miley Cyrus and, you know, all the other girls that just make you wonder what the hell. I mean, I guess Hollywood's a kind of a toxic place to grow up in, so yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I hope for the best, because, you know, good kid. There's that one. Uno mas. Get that out of there. Anybody else see the demonetization of AI content? I freaking love that. Like, and it's not to, like, you know, for me to be like, oh, I'm a YouTube creator. Like, dude, I understand. I am nobody. I am a guy posting videos in my spare time because I enjoy talking to myself while working on my shit. And it's nice to imagine I'm talking with you guys. It just kind of adds to the ambience. But anyhow, they're going through and, like, any AI generated stuff, because I mean that's kind of shitty for people to be making, you know, having a computer make their bullshit content for them and then get paid for it. Like, come on, that's fucking lame. And on top of that, 99.9% of the stuff that's AI generated is fucking garbage to start with. Like, me personally, like when I go to work, dude, I'll throw on all sorts of different stuff. Like, I love listening to AJ from the Y-Files. Dude, I freaking love that. Just going down the rabbit hole with conspiracy theory stuff and history. And it's all kinds of cool stuff. But anyways, I love his content. But the thing is like, that is an example of like history content and stuff like that. You know, for like every one of his videos, which is like genuinely insightful and entertaining and, you know, all the reasons why we watch YouTube. There's like freaking 50 AI generated just trash videos out there that'll, like, you don't get anything from it anyways. Like, there's like the AI generated ones are just so terrible of, it'll have a topic and then it'll just kind of dance around the topic for, you know, 20, 30, 40 minutes and never actually get to the point. It just talks about the thing and then never gives you anything, and 90% of the time it's all just like regurgitated basic info you can find online, but no definitive answers or anything, and a lot of times it's not even right. So yeah, I hate that because, you know, I'm trying to find, you know, something I'm going to learn from, and it's just full of garbage. And yeah, I'm just glad that if they're not monetizing the AI created content, well, there's no reason to make it. So that means it will go the fuck away. You know, who's going to keep pushing the AI to make the stuff if they're not going to gain anything from it? So that's great. I do like that. I appreciate that. It's nice. Just my side of it, of, you know, not only am I producing more trash for other people to watch, but hopefully they enjoy watching my trash. But anyhow, it's just... I spend just as much time, oh fuck that, I spend 3 times more time, like time spent just watching other YouTube videos and other YouTubers, because A, I enjoy their content, and a lot of times these guys are putting out some very educational stuff and learning cool things. But yeah, that's my filler. I have that stuff in the background all the time, and yeah, it's kind of what got me into, like, hey, you know what, that looks fun, I want to do that too. You know, maybe somebody will enjoy the stupid shit that I do and my senseless rambling while working. Yeah. Just kind of wish I could YouTube with friends. Is that a thing? That'd be cool. You know, I gotta find YouTube friends to do YouTube shit with. You know, I have other friends that are gonna come hang out with me at hold on. Where'd it go? Oh, fuck, it's hanging from the latch. At 12:20 at night and work on my shitbox Mustang. you know, then we can have, you know, hilarious commentary and bullshitting and shit talk while working on said shitbox Mustang. I call it a shitbox as a term of endearment, though. I fucking love this car. Because when it's working, oh man, is it great. Like, I've been driving it to work every day, and it's been having issues every damn day. But the route that I take going to work leads me through like a bunch of old farmland where there's like nothing out there. And I'm telling you, at like 7:30 in the morning, when the sun's peeking up over the tree line, and there's nothing but cornfield or wheat field on either side of you, to be in a 60s Mustang with a 5-speed, to just, you know, get a good open stretch, drop down into third, lay into it, grab fourth, and just, man, is it great. You got the windows down, you can hear this fucking V8 echoing out across the cornfields and shit. Looks like something out of a movie. It's a great way to start the day. Yeah. But I mean, that's the big thing. That's what, that's why I do this crap. That's why I work on cars. That's why I enjoy it. Because, you know, I can try to describe it, but until you actually, like, do it, feel it, like, it's a whole nother fucking world. You know? Not many people, I think, could actually understand that sensation, that feeling of, you know, like I said, just slamming gears in a cool ass old school muscle car out in the middle of nowhere, just you in the car, nice weather. Well, I've always got Otis with me, of course, but that just kind of adds to it too, because he's got his head out the window and enjoying the breeze and rolling down the road. It's freaking hot. Like, it's been warm all week, but like, you know, I don't mind like 80, 90 degree weather and stuff. I originally came from California, so like I'm used to heat, and I've always been kind of a hot person. Like, I do better with like warmer temperatures than cold. You know, just not suited to the climate, and especially now that I'm getting older and like all my past motocross injuries are coming back and reminding me of them every day. You know, I hurt a lot less when it's warm out than when it's cold. So, but anyhow, what I was getting at is the sun went down quite a while ago, and it's still got to be like 80 degrees in this shop. Like, it's warm. Warmer than I expected. Like, I'm sweating bullets. It's not unbearably hot, otherwise I wouldn't be out here. But the idea here was to prove the point of like all the guys out there that, you know, at one point in time, this would be my daily. And I wouldn't be trying to get this all done in one night to make a YouTube video out of. I'd be trying to get all of this done in one night, because it now being probably about 12:30, I've got to get up and go to work in 4 hours. And this thing needs to get me to work. So, yeah, you know, I've been there before. Literally get the car together, test drive it around the neighborhood, go take a shower, and then go to work. And by God, are we living on 5-hour energy and freaking Red Bull and Monster or whatever other horrible thing I can ingest that will keep me awake so that I can go do my job. And then when lunchtime goes around, there's going to be a hardcore power nap, and if someone disturbs me, Lord have mercy on their soul. I don't know if you've ever kicked a hibernating bear in the nuts, but that would be a fair comparison. I probably should have vacuumed all the mouse crap out of this intake manifold before taking all this apart. I'll just be really careful not to spill it down into the engine. I mean, I'm going to go through and take the heads and everything off anyway, so if I anything drops, I can still clean it up, but do as I say, not as I do, damn it. Clean all this crap off before you take it apart. That's what I should have done, but whatever. Anyhow. I still got 3 more freaking bolts before I can pry this damn thing off. And the other ones are like, they're that annoying tightness where they're loose enough that like they turn with no effort whatsoever with a wrench, but they're also tight enough that I can't quite turn them with my freaking fingertips. Not quite enough. So I don't have a choice but to sit here with the damn wrench a little bit at a time. I mean, I could probably like grow a brain and go grab a ratchet real quick and run this out really fast and be done, but I'm stubborn and too lazy to walk to go grab a ratchet and the correlating socket. So I'll work twice as hard turning these with a wrench right here instead of walking 10 feet away to get what I need to make it easier. Because mechanic. Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about. Don't tell me you'd go and grab a ratchet to do this faster. You'd stand here and fight with it just like me. It's the last bolt. Just come out with my freaking fingers. Why do you have to fight? Damn it. This is going to be a long video. I have no idea if I'm going to cut it up and make it a 2-parter. Or if I'm just gonna stick to my MO of doing like half-hour long videos. I've noticed that too. It's kind of hard to make a short YouTube video. Like, I haven't figured out how to do that. Like, I see all these other videos, you know, these guys going through like, oh, we're gonna rebuild this whole engine in this episode, and the episode's like 17 minutes long. It's like, how do you rebuild the whole engine and show enough to like get the gist of what's going on without it being like a 30-40 minute video? Like, I don't understand how guys are doing that. But then again, most of the videos I watch, they're not showing it all. It's just kind of like, oh, we're gonna pull this intake manifold, all the bolts are out, carburetor's off, manifolds are off, and then all of a sudden just boom, it's done. Like, they don't show any of the taking stuff apart, you know? All right. Ooh, that came up easy. Nice. I thought I was going to have to get a pry bar to pop that up. It's probably not a good thing. Whoa, that's heavy. Oh, at least it's aluminum. I don't know what kind it is, but it ain't the factory intake, that's for sure. How's it look down here? Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Cool. What do you guys see? Yeah, you see the same thing I see, just about. Oh no! That's alright. It's just a radiator cap. We'll get that later. Anyhow, this is what we're looking at. Water jackets look a little crusty and scary. Not terrible. Alright, well, I'm going to go set this down, find what I need to go through and pull the... Well, you know what? Nah, I shouldn't have to... Nah, I shouldn't have to take the rockers and stuff off to pull these heads. I mean, I'll have to take them all off when I go to put it back together, otherwise it's going to fuck with the valves and stuff and fight me putting it on. Screw it. I'll get the cardboard and I'll lay it out, match up everything per cylinder where it goes, and lay it out in order, and I'll do it right. Okay, I'm gonna go grab some cardboard and a Sharpie and then find what wrench I need for these, take it all apart, lay it out on cardboard, number everything so I can put it back the way it came out. Same goes for all my push rods. And yeah, I'll pick this back up when I'm ready to actually show you guys something other than rambling. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what we call a teachable moment. Yeah, this is definitely a Craigslist rebuilt engine where someone changed a few gaskets, spray painted the motor, and oh, it's a fresh sealed rebuilt motor. This is definitely not a rebuilt engine by any sense of the term. But anyhow, what I ended up doing was, instead of taking the rockers and everything, I just loosened them up enough till I could get the push rods out, so there's no pressure on the springs holding the valves open when I go to take the heads on and off. I've got my push rods laid out in order and direction of how they come out of the motor, but the wear on all these push rods and the gunk and stuff tells me this thing hasn't been cracked open, or at least didn't go through and replace anything. It's a normal flat tappet cam, but it does run really good and it doesn't burn any oil, so credit where credit's due. I don't know, maybe it's just got a partially blown head gasket from God knows whenever, and I don't know. I mean, I got this car so cheap that, I mean, literally for what I got the whole car for, you can't even buy a rotted out shell of one of these cars for that. So, I mean, even if I had to go through and completely rebuild this engine top to bottom, I still wouldn't be getting hurt, because I'm still into this car for, like, after doing the 5-speed swap, I'm not even into this car for $6 grand, and it's already a freaking phenomenal car. So anyhow, we are ready to break the bolts loose, pull the cylinder heads off, and see what's inside there. So I'm going to set you down here. Yeah, don't fall. And get this leg moved over here. And good enough. Okay, so we are going to do a reverse pattern. Typically, you will start from the center and work your way out when putting head bolts in and tightening them. So we are going to go the reverse. We are going to start from the outsides of breaking them loose and work towards the middle. That's actually not too tight. There's that one. Then we're going to go to the back. Wherever that stud's at. It's not there. Where is that bolt? Is it between the rockers? Yep, up there it is, behind it. Yeah. That one. Come over here. And we'll get this one. Oh, jeez. I should probably have a bigger wrench for this, but I'm stubborn. And literally, I have not been a Ford guy. Like, I've been a Mopar guy my entire life. Until I got this car. And then I started liking Fords. This one's pretty cool. And it's pretty easy to work on. The Mopar's a little more complicated. And a lot more expensive. The Mopar tax is real. Believe me. That Plymouth I got out there, way more expensive to build than this. And it's a little more complicated to work on. Not a whole lot, but it's still more complicated. I like simplicity. Come on. Push the header out of the way. Oh, jeez. Middle? Yep, one right there in the middle. And then one directly below it. so you get the idea. Now I'm going to go through, do the same thing on the other side, work from the outsides to the center. Once I get them all broken loose, then I'll come back with a small ratchet, like a speed handle or something, zip all them bolts out, and I'll turn the camera back on when we get to the cool part where I lift these things off. Sound good? Fantastic. Be right back. Oh, okay, that has been an ordeal. Getting those bolts out past those headers. Holy crap, that was dumb to leave those on. But I'm in it to win it, so we're going to leave them the hell on there. Yeah, bolts are out. Now I'm ready to pry up on these heads to break the seal and pop these guys out. It's like after 1 o'clock in the morning. I have no idea what time it actually is. But yeah, now for the exciting part where we get to dump coolant all over the floor. Well, that was to be expected. I was hoping I would have drained a hell of a lot more than that out, but oh well. Anyways, let's get this one off, shall we? Ah, it's cast iron. Did I forget a bolt? I don't think I did. Nope, it's just got a freaking dowel pin. Fuck. Jesus. Oh, I want Edelbrock heads. Oh my god. Oh, I was not expecting that. Fuck, that's heavy. Oh, holy shit. Okay. Now, let's see. Do some investigations over here. Looks like right here, maybe. Looking for like a actual burn, like cross section where it would get into a water jacket. Alright, I guess I'm going to pop the other side off first. Then I'll get in here with a light so we can get a better look at it. And just maybe we can find the culprit. Well, that's why that was leaking oil out the back. Anyhow. Alright, one more time. Ah, yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to have to buy coolant. Because I don't have enough to make up for that much that just spilled everywhere. Which means this is definitely not going to run tonight. Or this morning. Same difference. Okay. Try to grab this thing like a bowling ball through the exhaust ports. Man, that sucked a lot. Alright. Shit. Coolant went everywhere. Why are these plugged? That's a water jacket there, isn't it? Huh. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, those are fucking water jackets right there that are covered. Well, no, because the cylinder head sits on here. So technically it's not going to like flow into anything. There's no ports in the head for that. And I wonder if it's having contact with the head there helps draw heat. I don't know. Well then, I'm going to go grab some blue Scott towels and sop up some of this coolant and mess and get things cleaned up. And then I'll get you in here so we can get a better look and do some investigation and see why in the hell this thing was building pressure. Alright, so it has become very clear to me that this is definitely a, 50-something-year-old motor. There's a very light lip at the top where the rings stop inside the cylinder head. I mean, there's a little bit of cross hatching. This motor's not worn out by any means, but it definitely has not been rebuilt. Like, somebody replaced the valve cover gaskets, water pump gaskets, stuff like that, and just resealed the outside dressings of this engine and put a eBay no-name aluminum intake manifold on it and some headers, but this thing's never been cracked open before, and that's just a 50-something-year-old gasket. So it looks to me like it was just old in its time. It was rotting. It was time. This motor needs to be freshened up. But anyhow, that being said, I'm not seeing anything catastrophic. I'm not seeing any cracks, any lines, any weird stuff. It's just a crusty old motor with a blown head gasket, or not a completely blown head gasket, but one that's starting to go. It looked just burnt and crispy, and it was swollen in spots from corrosion inside the actual head gasket of stuff building up in it. It's just, yeah. So anyhow, I'm going to go on ahead and clean the surface of the cylinder head, get all that cleaned up, or excuse me, of the block, and then I'm going to clean up the heads. I don't know, it's getting close to like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm finally starting, the energy drink starting to wear off on me. You can tell the pauses and long delays, I'm lingering, I'm getting tired. So I'm probably going to clean this up, lay the head gaskets on there, and I'm probably going to cover this thing up and push it outside and hit it hard tomorrow morning. And I really want to port match these intake manifolds, the intake manifold to the heads and the exhaust ports, kind of open them up a little bit, get some more flow and get a little more power out of this tired old horse. So yeah, I'm gonna go on ahead and clean these up, and I'm either gonna bring y'all back in after I get them cleaned up and moving forward, or I'm gonna cut to the next day and then I'm gonna go through the process of cleaning up these cylinder heads and port matching them to the gaskets. And yeah, that's a cool little thing to do. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Well, it just depends on how much more freaking steam I've got left in me. I'll be back. Okay, after much cleaning, I think I may have found my smoking gun. What did I do with my flashlight? Put it back over here. Hey, Otis. I did not, but does this one work? Fantastic. Alright. So, we may be screwed on this one. If you can see it here, see if I can get in and get a good look. Now, maybe I'll try and figure this out, flying by the seat of my pants here. If I can get it to focus, there are scratches right here from where someone had scraped this thing, getting the old gasket material off years and years ago. There's a lot of back and forth everywhere on it, but there are scratches that extend from the cylinder wall here right into this water jacket. There's a straight shot right here. I can see where this material built, like old gasket material and stuff built up in there, and corrosion. And I think that right there is our problem as to why it's building pressure in the cooling system. Just those 3 little scratches is enough for cylinder head compression to make it into the water jacket. So now I need to look into if that is shallow enough that I can maybe polish this up a little bit to smooth out those scratches and get it to seal, or if I'm going to have to pull this whole thing down and get it machined. I don't know, I'm going to have to consult my old man tomorrow morning, because he knows a hell of a lot more than I do. And yeah, that really sucks right there. I know you can have like a 1/1000 of an inch, 2/1000 of an inch of warpage in a cylinder head and it still seal and be okay. And that, I don't know, I might be able to polish that off and stay within that tolerance, and just to have a smooth spot there where it doesn't have a channel to follow may fix it. So I'm gonna call it a video right there, and maybe I'll edit this and then do a part 2 on this after I figure out what we're gonna do with that, and then we'll do a video on porting and polishing the heads and putting this together if I don't have to go and have this thing machined. So on that bombshell, good night or morning, whatever the case may be, I'm out of here.